Republican Senator Rick Scott, a member of the Homeland Security Committee, joins us. Senator, thank you so much. So the talks are about a few minutes away. We don't know if we're going to get response or what it's all going to be about here this hour, but we'll bring you any breaking news as it comes in. Meantime, the Wall Street Journal reminds us, in part, quoting here, Obama warned Vladimir Putin in March of 2014 not to move Russian troops against Ukraine and told him that his country would face painful economic countermeasures if he ignored the warning. Mr. Putin ordered his special forces to seize the Crimean Peninsula 2 weeks later. Now it is President Biden's turn to be tested by the Russian leader, and the stakes are even higher. What should, in your estimation, Joe Biden do differently this time, Senator?
He ought to get a backbone. I mean, first off, he ought to be very clear with Putin that something will happen, and it's got to happen. So what we've watched with Biden is he's all talk and no action. So it's not just Putin and it's not just Ukraine. What we're talking about is what's going to happen with Lithuania, what's going to happen with the defense of Poland. Is Putin going to decide who's going to be a member of NATO? And by the way, she is watching this very closely to decide what's he going to do with Taiwan. So, I mean, Biden's eventually got to have to stand up, or these dictators are just going to run roughshod over American security.
And I guess one of my questions would be, we mentioned earlier there's 100,000 troops, probably 90,000 now, because Vladimir Putin has removed about 10,000 troops away from the Ukrainian border. And Vladimir Putin is also the one who prompted this call. He asked for this call to happen today. What is the move here on Putin's part? Is he trying to set the agenda here?
Oh, absolutely. So one thing Biden could do today is say, look, until you move all the troops away from Ukraine, we are shutting down your pipeline. We're not going to allow that pipeline to go forward. I mean, Biden's got to do something. Think about this. Biden said, we're going to shut down pipelines in the United States, but we're going to let Putin go forward with his for nothing. We got nothing out of that. So what we ought to do right now is Biden ought to say, I am going to stop your pipeline until you get all those troops away from Ukraine and you shut your mouth and quit telling us how to run our national security.
Yeah, I think it's a fair point, but you look at where Vladimir Putin sits, and I wonder if you think that aside from the pipeline, what other measures, what other sanctions do you think that President Biden could impose that would make Putin blink?
Well, first off, he ought to be doing something about the pipeline. He ought to be doing something about any economic transaction that comes out of Russia ought to be shut down. Anything we can do to work with our allies and shut down all economic transactions so there's a consequence to Biden. I mean, we have the same problem with Obama. We've got the same problem with Biden. These guys they'll draw these red lines and then do nothing about it. So what do these dictators think around the world? These guys, Biden's weak. Biden's never stood up to a dictator his whole life.
Yeah, it's notable, Senator, that back in 2018, you also disagreed with some of the tactics that President Trump was employing in his talks with Putin. So you just don't trust this guy. I mean, that's the bottom line here is, regardless of the president, you absolutely do not have any trust for Vladimir Putin, his word, any of his actions.
Anything that Putin says is a complete lie. I mean, there's nothing that Putin, Xi, North Korean dictator, any of these Ayatollah, they're liars. They're complete liars, and they act like we're a bunch of idiots because we believe them and trust them. Why would we do that?
Lastly, do you think the threat of Russia going into Ukraine is real?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, it's real. And we've got to take these things very seriously and get ahead of them. We've got to do everything we can to help Ukraine. We've got to help Poland. We've got to help Lithuania. We've got in Asia, we've got to help Taiwan. Do it now. Don't wait until we have a bigger problem.
Yeah, we've got China on one side, Russia on the other. Senator Rick Scott, thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Ray. Happy New Year.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.